So what is this for exactly?
It's my documentary film class. We're filming documentaries that have to do with race.
How do you do with race? So you and I have to race. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We've been married for a year and 6 months almost. Christmas is a year and 6 months. So we were married on June 25th. We met in 1998. We didn't make it official as a couple until 2002, June 25th, 2002, although there was about a 6 or 7 month courtship that led up to that. So, I mean, we called the 25th our anniversary. So that would make this, this coming June would be 10 years of being together as a couple. But as a married couple, it'll just be 2 years in June. Always do, and you guys said be taken care of. And wait a minute, can we get flavors like? Yeah. Do you love the raspberry lime?
I can have this one.
No, I mean if you like it, we can have two. But I thought we could get like a more than one flavor. I love black cherry. Do you like black cherry?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just okay.
It's just okay.
We met on the bus. Okay, so we have two different versions of the story. In my version, I was already on the bus. He walked on, and I was sitting down, and he approached me as I was carrying a drum. I was on my way to my work, and I was going to do a little lesson with rhythm and numbers and stuff. And he had walked into the bus because his car had broken down, it turns out.
I was having a terrible day. It was like one of the worst days. I got up that morning and there was a message on my answering machine that the band that was supposed to open for my band was canceling for the show we had in 3 days. And we couldn't play the show without that band because we needed to fill up 4.5 hours of time and we didn't have that many songs. And so I was like, what are we going to do? Because we'd actually worked really hard to get the show. We'd auditioned for them and all. So I was just like, oh my God. Finally get a paying gig and now we're going to have to give it up. So I'm already in a bad mood. I get in this little crap box that I had bought from a friend, Chevy Nova. And when I get to, I was going to work at devotion school. And when I get to the Burger King on Brighton Ave, I put on my brake, but the car kept going. And it wouldn't stop. And so I had to turn off the engine to avoid hitting people. And I had to turn off the engine and pull into the Burger King parking lot, swerve to avoid the traffic. And I tried to turn it on again. As soon as I turned it on, the car leaped forward. So I had to, like, call a tow truck. Call a tow truck, I'm late for work. When I get to work, the kid that I was hired to work with mostly was not on his medication. So that was fun. So finally I get out of work, I'm so tired from the day, and I'm like, oh God, I don't have a car. So I go get some change and wait for the bus. And I get on the bus and I'm stewing in it. You know, I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about, I gotta find a band, and I'm gonna have to cancel the show, and I was just in a terrible mood. And I look up, and on walks this beautiful girl. Her hair was short then, and it was kind of like pointy. She had it kind of like this. It was so cute.
So we ended up just kind of chatting, and at the end of the conversation, he said, you know, I'm in a band, we just lost our opening act, and through the course of the conversation, he found out that I was in one too. And so he's like, do you think your band would like to play for my band so we can keep our gig? So I said, I don't know, I'll ask the band. And I ended up just asking them, and we played together, and that's how we became friends.
So myself, I could either sit here and mope, or I could strike up a conversation with this cute girl that just got on the bus. And I chose the latter, and I'm glad that I did.
Right, today's not like a...
She is. What is it? Rice nog. When you say it's an interesting idea, you say it's an interesting idea, and I say, that's an interesting idea. That's not so good. What do you got today? Specials. People look at me and they just accept me as white, and they have my whole life. And my name, Martin, would make you think that that matched well, but that's not my birth name. My birth name was Padine, and my birth father was Puerto Rican. You look at him, you immediately know that he is Hispanic. But he didn't raise me. So I was always uncomfortable. I'm from the South, too. So I've heard a lot of racist talk. And people would talk to me that way, assuming that I'd join along. I always had choice words for them. But, so it's kind of weird for me because I think, like, her grandmother, when we were first dating, was like... She's like, she told her that we were dating, it was getting serious, and she said something like, well, don't you know any nice black boys? But, you know, I also remember my mom when I was young saying she'd be cool with me dating a black girl, but she wouldn't want to see me marry one because she worried about the children. So, yeah, it's just a different generation, you know. To me, that's racist. To her, that's not racist at all. That's just that was the common wisdom. You know, my mom was like pro-civil rights, and yet that was her perspective on interracial couples.
So there's kind of that old school perspective that I, have to deal with every once in a while, both in my community and in like Caucasians, but we've encountered like when we go down south, and nothing's ever been said like that's disapproving, but we'll get like the occasional like that kind of look, as we travel around or go into restaurants.
Maybe you could create a villain for your book that has some kind of, that sounds kind of like that. Distill the essence of those two words.
Of moist and slacks.
Put them together.
Put them together.
And make that the name of your villain.